Good evening and salutations, my YNR fans. So this episode felt different. It's like it's like they try to put a PSA within a soap opera. Because the biggest story of this episode was Chelsea. And I'm definitely not gonna monetize this one. This one is definitely not gonna be monetized. Um but this has a lot to do with her spiral, her depression, Um, after the confrontation between, I think, Johnny and Victoria. And Victoria's like, listen, I don't care if you meant him on purpose or not. If you see him, I want you to practically walk on the other side of the street. Just go the opposite way. Just go around the block at this point. I don't care what you do. We ain't doing this. Now, one of the things that I did say, maybe a couple of videos before, was that this woman needs therapy. If you learn nothing else from this episode, if this is the only thing you take away from this video, is that I'm not saying that therapy is a cure-all. It's an instant fix, but it's a tool and it's a starting place. When you see her throughout this episode, I mean, granted, for a while, she wasn't even wearing makeup. And granted, no one said anything about that. Like, yo, like, is everything alright? Like, you good? Um, Even the episode I saw yesterday with Phyllis that was talking to Chelsea, and I don't know their relationship, but it seemed like she was being extra nice to her. Like, she knew that there was something that was off about her. Like, something was broken. Um, and I don't know her character too much. I don't know that history, but it seemed like she was going out of her way to be nice to her. And so, after that whole confrontation, you had Billy that saw her in the park just to try to talk it out because she was kicking herself for even telling the truth. Um, and after he left, he was worried about her. And I saw the previews um, of Lily once again just acting extremely bitchy. And I can say that because I'm not going to monetize this video. Um, because Billy was not there looking like, yo, he said there's like, yo, there's something wrong. Like, did you not see the way she was acting or the way she looked? And of course, she was like, no, I couldn't see that because I was trying to have fun with you, but you're too busy sitting there looking at Chelsea. Like, now, granted, later on, she's going to kick herself for acting that way. Um, Billy, I mean, well, not Billy. Adam was going out his way to be nice to her. He went by her place. He was like, "Let's go upstairs. Let's go somewhere. Let's get a drink or whatever, just to get out the house. You've been looking like you've been kind of hibernating for a hot minute. Like you need to like see some sunlight or something." So he got her out and got her for a drink or whatever. And once again she started kicking herself, and he was like, "Listen, you, you can't keep, what I'm saying, like don't." He was just being very supportive. It was hard to sit there and describe, but he like for word verbatim what he was saying, but he was being very supportive. He did sit there and mention counseling. He was like, maybe you need counseling. And she did say, you know what, you're right. You're right. The way I'm going, I'm not in a good place. But then you saw her go to the roof. Now, before this whole episode started, there was a disclaimer saying that it was pretty much a trigger warning. It was a trigger warning. And so I knew that this episode was going to be different right off the bat, and it felt different. It felt different for a while. Every time you saw Chelsea scenes, it just felt different. And I appreciated that because normally sometimes it just seems very safe and like whatever. But like this one seemed like they were going out their way to be like, you know, I'm not just saying edgier, but more of a PSA of you don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know what someone's going through. And yeah, I made comments in the past, and I do stick by them. The way she was going about it, with Connor and Johnny and stuff like that, not giving them time to process it, constantly being in their face and stuff. It was not the best way to go about it. Um, like there was a couple of times that Billy was like, "Hey, maybe we need therapy." A trained professional to sit there and deal with this. Anyway, when she got up to that rooftop, she started looking down. This is actually the first time we actually got to see a downward look at, you know, like they didn't show that angle before. This is, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure Billy actually took Chelsea up there a couple of times, like, hey, let's sit there and scream because it helps. And I'm like, you do realize that y'all are really high. Y'all have no parachutes. Um, y'all just literally dangling off the rooftop yelling. And I'm like, there are much better ways y'all could be doing this than to be that high. But I saw some of the episode. I think Monday's episode because they shoot the episodes a day early. So you got that going on. You got Johnny and Connor seem like they just kind of trying to move forward and trying not to let the awkwardness and everything like that because of them knowing the truth really mess up their friendship. So they handled it pretty well. Um, Abby, once again, I don't understand this chick. Like when when um when Devon and Lily came to the club, and Abby was like, "Oh yeah, chances at work he's on the stakeout." And she seemed a little like mad and pissed, and she walked away. And I think Lily was like she knows she married a cop, right? Like that comes part of the job. It comes with the job, like. And of course, Devon was literally trying to see it from her side, but I'm like, Devon, I'm usually on your side, but on this one, I'm gonna say nay. I'm just gonna say nay, no. Um, and later on, Abby and Devon did have a talk. Well, first of all, Abby and Lily was not talking about Billy's leaving, and he wasn't too happy about that company in flux after what Nate did. But ultimately, he was like, listen, if it's better for y'all two and y'all happy, that's that's the most important part. But he did sit there and talk to Abby, and Abby was like, I do feel really bad because while I'm getting all angry and pissy about him choosing work over going to Halloween and celebrating Halloween, he's out there probably saving lives and um he can be out there saving lives. She was like, I feel really bad. And of course, the mom was like, "No, you shouldn't. You're entitled to your feelings." I was like, "No, don't do that. Don't force that behavior." Okay, I'm still pissed off at her when she started interrupting and messing up this man's breakfast. Like I said, there's certain things to me that is sacred. Okay, certain things that are sacred that I'm just like, you don't mess with. Okay? Food, porn, and video games. Any one of those orders, you just don't mess up those things. Okay. Um, like I said, food, breakfast, and I saw the previews, and I guess Chance like he got done with his shift early, so I think he went to society or he went somewhere. And once again, she's meant to be like, "Oh, you chose to come here instead of being with your family." I'm like, Chance, you might want to sit there and start looking into divorce. I would sit there and say counseling. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just saying divorce is just the go-to move, but I'm like, this chick has been being pissy for quite a while. You need to do something because at the end of the day, your mental health, your sanity is on the line every time she comes into the room and starts acting like that. Period. Um, what else happened? Oh yeah, I'm kind of talking about yesterday's episode too. Um, Nick had to sit there and give Sally the bad news that she got, she was being let go. She was being fired by Victoria. And somebody was right. I think when I did one of my last reviews, somebody was like, it probably has a lot to do with Summer. Oh, and Nikki was just being super annoying yesterday, too. I can't believe isn't it they're going out with Sally with, Summer and this, that, and the third. Which, by the way, Summer and Kyle has to be. They're another group of people that just need to go. They just need to go. Like, literally. The only thing that they did in yesterday's episode was be filler. They didn't do too much of anything. They were just there to be there. Well, again, to be filler. I was so done with those two. I don't see a purpose in their characters except for to be referee towards their grown adult mothers that clearly can't be bothered to act like civilized adults. And by civilized adults, I mean more of like Phyllis, if we're going to be honest. What else we had in today's episode? You know, they didn't actually have a lot of people in this episode. There's something else that I noticed. Oh, Allie and Noah was there towards the end because contracts. Like it was just so odd. I mean, granted, I know that they were going to the club or whatever, and it is Noah's club. And I'm like, they could have just had some random doorman. Like they didn't need. I almost actually almost forgot they were there. They were just literally shoehorned. Like 5 minutes left of the episode, they were like practically just, all right, you can come on, say a couple of lines, get paid. Yep, okay, cool. That was a great use of my time that I'm not going to be able to get back. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty much about it. Like I said, it seemed more of a PSA with a soap opera kind of included in, like with the extra sprinkles of soap opera in it. Um, because not really much happened. Like I said, Abby was just being Abby. Devon was listening, co-signing her BS. Um, I guess it was Billy's daughter's. Well, not her birthday, but like her favorite holiday. So it was a rough time for Billy. And even Lily was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna give you a riot act about the whole Nate thing. But of course that probably didn't last. Well, I mean it didn't last because Monday's episode you see that she is being her usual joyous self. Um Devon's talking about how his head's pretty messed up right now between what Nate did, Amanda being gone so long. I don't know what's going on with that. Are they going to sit there and find a replacement? Or I mean, they replaced Amani for a little bit. I wonder who they'll get for Amanda. I don't know who they'll get for her. I mean, I heard that. Well, she wanted to leave. She wanted to leave. She wanted to be with her family, and at least that's the story that I got. That and plus she had a tragedy and stuff like that that happened. Like I guess like there was a house fire and stuff. So she wanted to put family over work. I get it. You know. I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else that happened. But with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next video.